We see the saffron robes, we see the shaved heads, but what's really going on inside the mind of a Buddhist monk? Well, today we're going to follow that journey, from the very first conscious breath at dawn to the last thought before sleep, to really get a handle on the kind of discipline it takes to transform yourself. This ancient saying, it just gets right to the heart of everything. Monastic life isn't about running away from the world, it's about lighting up the mind. The whole point is to find this inner light that's said to shine brighter than the sun and moon put together, and that's the light of wisdom. So, what does this shift actually look like? Well, it's a huge trade-off, really. A layperson's life is filled with choices, yeah, but it's also often tangled up in all our desires. A monk, on the other hand, trades that kind of external freedom for an internal one. They're guided by a super specific framework, the Dharma Annaya, which is basically the collected teachings and their code of conduct. Okay, let's dive into what this really means. Becoming a monk isn't just about changing your clothes or getting a new haircut. No, the real work, the profound change, it all happens inside the mind. And here is the absolute key. Every single rule, every ritual, every action all day long is just a tool designed for one thing, to achieve this state of mind. The goal is to carefully, meticulously clean up the mind, freeing it from all the attachments that cause us so much pain, until it becomes truly calm and pure. In this training, it starts before the sun even comes up. Just imagine your day beginning not with the glow of a phone screen, but with just the simple awareness of your own breath in the total quiet of the pre-dawn. 4 a.m., and the practice has already begun. You know, this isn't just a morning routine. It's like a carefully designed mental warm-up. Each step builds on the one before it. You start by just grounding yourself in the present with your breath. Then you cultivate respect by chanting. After that, the walking and sitting meditation sharpens your focus. And it all leads up to this act of generosity, sharing any good energy you've built up with all other beings. It's a really powerful way to set a foundation of peace for the entire day. Before a monk even sets foot outside, there's this moment of deep self-reflection. It's like a 10-point internal checklist. They ask themselves questions like, am I behaving differently than a regular person? Am I remembering that others support me? And am I making myself easy to care for? Is my conduct pure? This whole process just makes sure they walk out into the world with a mindset of real humility and purpose. All right, so the monk's first interaction with the world outside the temple walls is the daily alms round. And believe me, this is so much more than just getting a meal. It's a profound daily practice in mindfulness and in detachment. And this brings up a really critical question. I mean, food is a basic human need, right? For most of us, it's a huge source of pleasure and cravings. So how does a monk handle something so fundamental without getting attached to it? The tool they use for this is a seriously powerful mental practice. A monk is trained to basically deconstruct the food in their mind. They don't see delicious curry or boring old rice. No, instead they see the natural elements that make it up: earth, water, fire, air. This one simple shift in perspective is the whole key to seeing it as just sustenance. And the result of doing this? It's huge. When food is just elements, the emotional charge is totally gone. There's no excitement for a fancy dish, and there's no disappointment with simple food. Greed and aversion, they just vanish. The food becomes exactly what it's supposed to be: fuel for the spiritual practice. Now, this kind of discipline extends to all interactions, but the guidelines around women are especially strict. And that's because romantic and sexual attachment is seen as one of the most powerful forces that can tie a person to worldly suffering. The guidance is a clear, step-by-step plan to guard the mind. Ideally, don't look. If you can't avoid that, don't speak. And if you absolutely have to speak, it must be done with total, unshakable mindfulness. So after they get back from the alms round, you might think the monk's spiritual work is done for a bit. Not at all. In fact, it continues with even more focus, right there inside the temple, where every single activity is just another form of practice. One of the central disciplines is eating only one main meal a day, and always before noon. And again, this has nothing to do with being on a diet. It's a deliberate technique for reducing attachment to the pleasure of eating and for actively practicing simplicity. The afternoon is just as structured as the morning. Every activity is an extension of that mental training. Sweeping the grounds isn't just a chore. It becomes a meditation on cleanliness, both outside and inside. Studying deepens wisdom, and even conversation is carefully managed to keep the mind on the right path. And this part is fascinating. For a monk, speech is never just idle chatter. Conversations are intentionally limited to 10 specific topics, and all of them are designed to help with spiritual progress. So they'll discuss things like contentment or seclusion or the path to liberation. Every single word spoken is meant to be a tool for the practice. So what holds this entire life together? It's a very detailed code of conduct called the Vinaya. For a fully ordained monk, this includes 227 main rules or precepts that govern every little part of life. And these rules are anything but random. They are strategically focused on the exact areas of life where attachment and bad karma are most likely to trip us up. Our interactions with other people, our relationship with stuff, how we talk, what we eat, and a respect for all living things. A single rule like this one really shows you how deep the code goes. A monk can't dig in the dirt or even break a living branch off a plant. Why? Well, because it might accidentally harm insects or other tiny creatures living there. It just reflects this profound commitment to non-harming that is the foundation for the entire Vinaya. The day ends exactly how it began, with intentional practice. The evening is a whole process of winding down and purification. After more meditation, the very last act before sleep is a mental review of the day, checking to see if they upheld all the precepts. Even the act of falling asleep is turned into a mindful practice, where they maintain awareness of their breath until consciousness finally fades. So I think the most crucial thing to take away from all this is that this incredibly structured, rule-heavy life isn't about being confined. It's actually the exact opposite. Every single rule is a tool, a guideline designed to liberate the mind from the real prisons, greed, hatred, and delusion, and lead it to a state of genuine freedom. And this leaves us with a final thought, right? We might not live in a monastery, but the principles here are universal. If you were to take just one of these disciplines and bring it into your own life, maybe mindful eating, or more conscious speech, or just starting your day with your breath, what do you think might actually change for you?